Hey y'all, welcome to Tambourine Shirley TV. Today I have with me Chimere Faulk.
Hey.
So me and Chimere met in Sedona last year,
Yeah.
September.
Yes. My goal is
Very enlightening experience. So, and then I was like, I don't even know how I found out you had like a company, but I was just like, why do I know you? It's like you had a whole empire, girl. What?
Yeah, I like to just be chill, you know what I'm saying? And like anyone find out, they'll find out. But I'm more than just my company, you know? So
Right. It was so cool. I was just like, this is Dr. Locs lady? Are you kidding? I know her. So before we get into the interview session, I have this little game called A to Z. And basically you have 2 minutes to name anything dealing with your profession.
So A to Z?
A through Z.
God dang!
You got 2 minutes.
Oh my God, okay.
So you're gonna be good. A to Z. You got it. You got Afro. There you go.
Okay, you see you're helping me. Oh, you help, okay, Afro. Okay, B, bun. C, chatting. D, diva. E,
Next.
Okay, F, fun, the salon. E, G, G, I'm gonna be the G-O-T, G-O-A-T, the go, okay, that was corny. G-H,
Hair.
huh?
Hair.
Hair. Industry. J, J, this is hard.
Jewels.
Jewels? Okay,
You put jewels in locks, don't you?
Oh yeah, okay, I look.
You got 45 seconds. Come on. J, K.
K, cute, no, K, K, kindred spirit. That's what happens in the salon. K, L, love. M, I'm very untraditional. M, a million. That's my goal next year.
Amen.
N, nice. I like being a nice person in business.
4 seconds.
O, optimistic. P, people. Q, cute. R, restless. S, style. T, twist.
Amen.
U, undo. W,
W, that's really hard.
This is hard. X, W, I don't know. Okay, W, Y. Okay, yeah. I did that. That was pretty interesting.
Yes. So tell us about yourself. Who is Chimere? What is Dr. Locs?
So I am a Black woman. Reaching my 40s. I am a mom. I studied creative advertising in college, and I realized quickly I didn't like corporate America. I never got a job in an ad agency. I always tried. They didn't like me, I guess, because I had locks. And that was kind of a downer. A lot, I think, hits people when they graduate from college. And it's like, well, my generation was like, yo, you're going to get a job. A lot of us were the first to graduate in our home. And I graduated a little bit after 9/11, and so jobs were kind of funky a little bit, and so I was just trying to get a job at anything. So but yeah, I don't know if you want to know the whole story. It is pretty interesting, but that was my start. And then I realized I have to take control of my life. So the short version is that I created solutions to problems I was seeing, and decided I could make a living off of that. So
how did Dr. Locs start?
so Dr. Locs started, I worked in a salon for about 5 or 6 years, and I got let go, and I ended up in my apartment with no job, and I just signed a new lease and just became a single mom, and I was like, yo. So then clients wanted to come to me at my house. So I was like, okay. So I created a salon in my home, and I started the Natural Hair Lady. And so at that time, I also decided to be a single mom. We peacefully separated down the street and decided to do this. So a lot of things were happening. I just wanted to be able to survive on my own without anybody's check or anything like that. I just wanted to be my own boss, and let my kids see me as a mom, and you can work for yourself. So I did the salon. That's happening. Now their dad is now we're co-parenting. So now I have a week off. So now I'm traveling. People are literally finding me on the internet, on Instagram. Because again, my background is advertising and marketing. So I knew how to do that, even though that wasn't taught when I went to school, but it was interesting to me. So people literally started flying me out to different cities to do their hair and to technically do their locks. So what I did was, when I lost my job, I decided I wanted to do the service that made me the most money, which was lock extensions. So I put into the universe, like, yo, I need 3 lock extensions a week. What's up? And that happened. People were flying me. In New York, I had 4 people lined up in 1 week. I'm working like I don't have no sense. And what happened as their dad started taking them every other week, I had a week to myself. So I would pick those weeks to fly out to those cities. Side note, before that started popping, I didn't know that really would be a thing. I put it out there, but I ended up getting a job at Apple. So I was at this point working at Apple, and on the days I had off, flying out to different cities. And then when I'm back, getting the kids, being a mom. So there was a whole lot going on. So then I eventually let Apple go because I was doing so well doing hair. And now I was like, all right, I'm officially an entrepreneur. So then as people were like in their prospective cities, they would be calling me like, yo, like, I'm using this product and I don't know what's going on. And I would be FaceTiming them like, let me see. Oh, that's buildup. Don't use that. That's buildup. Don't use that. Don't use that. Don't use that. And people were like, well, Chimere, what the hell am I supposed to use then? And so I had locks for 9 years, and I went through that same experience. When I worked in the salon before this situation, she had her own line, but it wasn't specifically for locks. So I kept getting this question from my clients that I couldn't touch. And if they were in town, I would like literally be like, shit, okay, let's not use that. It was like a continuous thing. So I was like, you know what, I'm going to figure out, maybe I can do something. Yeah. So I went online and I looked up like oils that were popular that would make your hair soft, and just something, or one spray. That's what I was trying to make. And so I went and did my research online, and just like some of my favorite oils that I think that would be cool. Went to Whole Foods and down the street, shopped, spent like $200, and started going to kitchen, just playing around with stuff. So I mixed it together, never had any type of chemist degree, anything. I tweaked it, and I literally didn't know what I was doing. I used the faucet water, shook it up, and started spraying that joint. So clients would be like, "Ooh, that smells good. Ooh, girl," and because they trust me, they're like, I
said, let me get some of that.
Yeah, and they were like, I want some of that. And I'm like, you can make it yourself. You know that, right? And so that's when I realized what retail was. So I'm like, oh, okay. Same way you eat go to McDonald's. You can make your own sandwich, but you can pay a little extra to do that. So I was like, all right. So I went to Sally's, got some $5 little empty bottles, started making more bottles, and just randomly picked a number, $5. And so now I got the bottles out there, still not thinking about it as a business. And one day, I always tell this story, Miss Brenda, one of my older clients, she came back, and I always like to feel on people's hair and talk to them and catch up before I go start washing their hair.
Mm-hmm.
And so I'm feeling her. I've been, at this point, I was probably doing locks for about 8 years professionally, and I've never felt someone's locks this soft before. So I'm like, Miss Brenda, what the hell? What were you doing? And I wasn't thinking about my stuff. And she was like, that stuff you sold me. I was like, yo. So a big light bulb.
Wow.
And that's when Dr. Locs was born.
And what year was this?
This was in 2000, probably 2012 or 13.
So 8 years later, look at where you.
Well, it was a hell of a lot of other stuff. So Dr. Locs didn't officially open up, like drlocs.com didn't officially open up until 2015. Mm-hmm. So from that time that I did was birth to then, it was me saying, okay, this is what you want to do. Okay, so I didn't ask nobody for any money. I would take my money and go back to Whole Foods. Like, I've written out the things I want to solve, because what I was taught in school was that you're solving a problem. Well, that's what I felt. And also working at Apple, I learned that, and sometimes you're solving a problem people don't realize they have. But this was like my industry. So I was like, I know what they need. And all these bottles that are coming to me that people have heard of for locks, they don't know what they're talking about. So I know this.
Yeah,
so
it don't work.
It did not work. And then, like, the thing is also, around this time, this was like a part of the natural hair boom. There was a lot of people that had new hair products for natural hair. Like, at first it was like really just Carol's daughter. After that, everyone was like, I can do this too. So everyone was coming out, and no one was concerned with the lock community. As a business, a lot of people like, that's not going to give me that much money, so I'm not going to focus on them that much. And so I was like, shoot, I could do this. So I'm not trying to eat off of it. So I'll just do it for me. So I was just doing it for my clients. And so when I just started listening to all the problems I heard all the time, and decided to make a solution for all of them, which was 5 products. And also I noticed there was a chair that no one knew that was empty, where I knew this, that people come in as a natural hairstylist. They come in to me and they say, hey, I want to cut my perm. Okay, girl. Cool, let's do this. Cut their perm, they're natural now. What do I do with my natural hair? Cool, you do this, this is cool. And then they'll look at someone with locks. What are those? Oh, those are locks? Oh, I didn't know locks look that cute. Right. And they go in locks, and they stay with locks forever. So I was like, yo, no one knows. People are going to get it. I knew what's happening now. I knew it was going to happen 5, 6, 7 years ago. Mm-hmm. But no one knew that, because you're only going by what you're seeing trending. But as all of us locticians, we knew that was happening. And so I was like, yo, let me do this thing. So I did the thing and hired, I got assistance from a chemist. I didn't really have him work on it, but I told my clients, in order for me to be successful, as I learned from working at Apple, you have to get feedback. And I think the biggest problem with people in business that don't do too well, they don't want to hear what they're not doing well. And so the only way you're going to be good at anything is to listen to people that might not say things you might want to hear. Like, you got to be open to criticism.
Right. Especially from the consumer, because they're going to tell you.
Yeah. YouTubers are ruthless. You know what I'm saying? You got to listen to them. And to me, I got clients, so I'm good. And so I got some feedback. I fixed those problems. And then officially, I opened up drlocs.com in January 2015. And like the next year, YouTubers found out about me. And then that year I started hiring people. And then I'm like, okay, there's a lot of people in my house. I was still doing the salon and that. So then I moved the salon out of my house, and I still have the company, Dr. Locs, in my home now. Mm-hmm. So, yeah.
So powerful, girl. Like, what? Wow. So were you the black girl in college that knew how to do hair?
I was.
Everybody's hair.
Yeah, it was me and one other girl. I never met her in my life. Might have, but back then we weren't doing social media in 2000, like 1999 and 2004.
Mm-hmm.
Facebook was popping after that. But I always heard her name. I know she knew my name, but we were the two people went to. And so I literally, my first semester of college in 99, I kept my door cracked open. My roommate didn't. She ended up going to another school, so I had a whole room to myself, and I made it into a salon. I made it into a salon.
Girl, I'm with the hustle though.
Yes,
That's
I
what
never was broke.
college is. This huh? Learn a lot too.
Mm-hmm.
That's so cool.
I hated it though. I didn't want.
You hated doing hair?
I didn't like people. I don't like people in my space.
Mm.
And like I've grown a lot because I have like people in my space, but it's, to me, it's okay. This is worth more than just me working at a company and I hate my life. Like, I love my life. So now I'm working on separating the two, finally, for the past 9 years. But back then it was like, you're young. A lot of young folk don't know how to speak up for themselves, and you care too much about what other people think. And so I was like having people in my house I didn't really care for, and I'm braiding their hair and I'm doing. But so over time in maturity, I learned to create a lane for myself and boundaries, and that therefore I love business because I know how to create boundaries and I know how to say yes and no.
So how do you even balance your life? Like, I know you come from a long way. Dr. Locs has grown a lot. But now, how do you even balance it all?
Therapy.
Well,
I go to therapy once a month.
Mm-hmm.
I've been going for the past 3 years. And through that, I learned that I need me time.
Mm-hmm.
So I can't, a lot of moms feel like they will be a bad mom if they take some time to themselves, like that retreat you and I went to. That's a big deal. Like, that was my week. That was my second year. I went the year before that too. And it's been their week they have with me. So I explained to them, one day when you're a grown woman, you're going to understand why mommy's doing this. Right. And in order for me to be a dope mom, I have to be selfish sometimes. I'm selfish a lot of times, and I teach my daughters to be that too. Selfish is not a bad word. It's not. And we call it in our house, I need a moment. Mm-hmm. And so, I take my moments and I relish in them and I enjoy them, and then I can come out refreshed, as you and I did when we left Arizona, and it's necessary for everyone to have moments. But I have moments. I do yoga stretches. I don't do them that often. How do I balance that, the life and business? I create boundaries for myself. I have a phone where business calls come through, and I have days that I answer phone calls, and I have days I do not answer phone calls. Do
you think that comes with time? Like, starting out, sometimes it can be where you feel like you have to do everything in a way just to keep it going.
I think it's all a natural, it's the circle of life. It's a natural progression. It's all necessary. I don't negate or diss my old self she was hustling. This is my normal hustle day in between 2011 to 2016. I worked from Apple from 9:30 a.m. to 6:00 p.m. My mom picked me up with my car and the girls. We went home, ate dinner, put the girls in bed. I have a client knocking at my door at 9 p.m. I'm doing lock extensions. I'm making $600-$700 real quick. And I'm done with them at 4 in the morning. I take a cat nap, wake my daughters up at 6:30, take them to daycare, wherever they're going. And then I go back to Apple at 9:30 in the morning. That was my hustle. I was falling asleep driving and rolling over medians and stuff. That was what I did. And it was all necessary, and I thank God I'm alive. But you ever heard a grown woman say you'll get tired enough? I got tired enough, and I had enough bread. But I knew my goal I was creating. So one of my favorite quotes or sayings or conversations is by Jill Scott. And I don't know if you've seen it online when she was talking to Brandy. And she said, Brandy was like, oh my God, I can't wait to be in my 40s. And then Jill Scott was like, when you're in your 20s, you have a lot of energy and you have to be aware of what you're doing. Like, although you want to just be wild and crazy and just do things, stuff like that, because that's what society says. That's cool. Enjoy your life, but understand that everything you're doing is it's a footprint into your future. So in your 20s, you have a hell of a lot of energy. So do all that shit, wear yourself out, work very, very hard because you have the energy. So you work hard in your 20s, you work smarter in your 30s, and you work when you want to in your 40s. And so so this is the thing. When I was hustling, bustling, I knew what I was doing. And I knew I didn't want to be one of those hairstylists that were doing hair for the rest of her life, because that doesn't go nowhere. For me, it doesn't. And so at 30 is when I lost my job 10 years ago. And it was like 9 years ago. And when I decided to create the thing I'm just telling you, that was almost time 10 years ago. I said I wanted to retire at 40, which is next year. So in order to do that, I needed something that I could sell in the bottle and be like this.
Make money,
so yeah, but it's so it's okay if at a younger age you don't know how to say no. It's building blocks. You can like work under an OG, and I'm other people's OGs. You know what I'm saying? But me knowing people, and I'm a Cancer. I'm a mothering person. You gotta let people bump their head. I would not know. No OG knows the things they know, and like until they bump their heads. And I'm under other OGs. Like they know that I can listen to them, but ain't nothing like learning that lesson yourself. You know what I'm saying? So to me, it ain't no sleep. I sleep when I die. I love my sleep. You know, but a 22-year-old might not understand it, because you got I don't know how old you are, but you got more energy. You know what I'm saying? You have less energy when you get older. It's just a thing. I eat healthy. I'm fit, but it is a real thing. When you get older, you lose more energy. You just don't have as much energy you did. So it's necessary. There's nothing wrong with like working really, really hard. Older people, I don't listen to people that they're not where I want to be.
Right.
You know? So I love my mom, but she was concerned as a mother for years. Oh my gosh, she made me work so hard. Oh my God, blah, blah, blah. But my mom wasn't where I respect my mom, but I'm working hard, Mom, because one day I'm not gonna have to work hard anymore. So, and very soon.
Right. So did you have any support starting out, or was it just like, I'm doing this, I don't care?
So support is different types of support, and I had all of it. So like cheerleaders, I've always had that. I'm a full believer in you attract yourself. Mm-hmm. So as I do for everyone that's in my same industry, that's how I am. And some people might say about haters, I don't know what that is. I don't even have competition. That's just my mindset. Right. And so I have people that support me verbally, and then financially. What was going on? I had a client. I started doing her hair in 2000. Oh, was it 2000? When I first, like 2005, 2006, I met her, and she saw me from being single to I'm having baby one, baby two, and I have this beautiful family. Oh, it didn't work out. Oh, you classy girl, you left and y'all cool and ain't no drama. She loved my story, and so when I am gathering up these concoctions and I'm testing shit out, she's like, yo, let me know if you need my help. She's watched me. And she said, Chimere, one day years ago, when she was a single mother, someone paid her rent, and she never knew who that was to this day. So she always told herself she would pay it forward to another single mother. And I'm going to do the same thing. So she legit gave me her credit card information after I told her what my dream was, after I organized and put together all the formulas, and I was like, okay, this is gonna be cool. I think I could do this. And then, cause she had always been in my ear, Chimere, look at me like, let me know I love you. And I'm like, that's another thing I want Black women to understand, is that you have to say yes. You can't, I think a lot of times we feel like we have to do everything ourselves. In order to be successful. You're gonna have to understand, like, this universe, you got a team of people out here like working for you. And so I said yes. And that woman gave me what she gave me, and I was able to buy 80 bottles of every product I had. And then I put it online on the website. And that year I made 75 orders my first year. And the second year she was like, all right, what you want to do this year? I was like, I want to do the natural hair show. So she paid for my booth. And I raised like and this is another aspect of my support. Because she did that, I went on and did a GoFundMe. I am terrified of asking people at the time, terrified of asking people for help. But I had this thing in my head. I had people in my ear, Chimere, you're awesome. Like, just give it a try. Like, fuck it. So I did a GoFundMe, and I created it and put it out there and say nothing. And no one did anything. And someone was like, Chimere, you got to talk about it every day. So every day I posted something else. Like, hey, y'all, I really need your support. I collected like $2,000 from all my friends and family on Facebook. And I was like, you know what? Because of this, I'm never going to stop, because they believe in me. They're $25 here, $50 here. So I was able to buy all these ingredients and bottles. Because in my mind, I was going to sell a whole lot in natural hair shows. It was my first vending experience. But I'll never, ever forget that. And so continuously, to me, I expect love. And I give it and I get it back. And when I tell you, if I ain't saying nothing else in this interview, you have to understand your mindset when it comes to anything, really, but business. And a lot of times in business, a lot of people that do really, really well, they understand something that a lot of people don't understand. You got to understand who you are and what you're attracting. And a lot of times businesses will reflect the CEO. Look at Honey Pot. Look at Target. Look at Apple. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's the company. It's the CEO is spilling out their thing. So I got to keep my vibrations up and high and take care of myself. That's why I have a great team that's down for me all the time. So it's me, it's love. So hell yeah, I got a lot of support. In the beginning, I probably had more than I realized, but I had to start to realize what was all around me, and I just started saying yes to it.
Girl, when is the workshop is what I want to know.
I will be coaching. Actually, a part of my plan now is working on 5 streams of income coming in on my 40th birthday next year. And so I'll be writing books, and I will be coaching soon. People, the things I've learned, I'm continuing. We never stop learning, but I do realize that I do know a lot of things and I can share them. So right now, I'm under contract with my business coach right now, but once I'm done with that, I will be, coaching with people, and I want to help and stuff like that. But you never stop learning. It's just, everything comes when it's supposed to happen stuff. So
right. So one important thing that I have actually learned from you going live was to put whatever you make, put it back into your business, especially when you start out. It's not yours. And I don't know when, I think that was last year, probably sometime after Sedona, maybe.
Really?
That
girl
is powerful. You feel like you know that, but then when you actually hear it, it's like you got to do it, especially
yes.
out.
You can't get excited off of that $5 you made. You gotta put it back. That don't belong to you. It belongs to the people you're supposed to hire pretty soon. Like, you get paid last. Don't quit your day job. Don't quit your day. My mom always said you need money to make money. And so a lot of times, don't get hyped, y'all. Whoever's watching this interview, don't get hyped, or don't listen to. There's a lot of entrepreneur preachers out there. I don't condone anyone putting anyone down for not working for themselves. Everyone should not work. Everyone shouldn't have a business. This is my theory. I love this shit. That's just me. I quit every job I've had except for Apple. quit them. As soon as it pisses me off, I just not that person that can sit and be okay with and be content with bullshit. But it's not for everybody, you know. Some people really do need. I think our culture has changed now, and it just pisses me off. Oh, everyone should work for me. That's supposed to be freedom now. My theory as far as why there's some miserable companies and then there's really awesome companies, because once upon a time there was a guy named Joe. He worked for a company. He hated the job. He hated his boss. Joe was like, "Fuck you! I'm gonna do it myself. I could do the same thing." So he quit his job and he went and created a bit because he wanted to make some money. He didn't give a care. He didn't like his boss and he wanted to show up and he could do it himself. So he did that. He hired people, and because he did this thing out of money, and it's all about money, he had no care for the people. People now are miserable, and this is a lot of businesses where it's like their daddy gave them a lot of inheritances, and it's not nothing to do with the people. Now, when people come out, and there's a lot of people out here that have businesses out of solving a problem, out of the passion they love, so therefore they're gonna love the people that's helping them with their business. So there are people that are good assets to businesses. And I think psychologically, people on social media, the people that never ran a business, but they're having a seminar online,
Girl.
you pay them $350, and then
charging $500.
Yeah, because they're selling you a dream.
Right.
And what it is that you don't like your life, you know. And so my theory is that everyone should do what they love to do. If it's milking cows, if it's being in gardening, think beyond your wildest dreams. Like, what would you like to do? Now, you think you might be an entrepreneur, try that shit. Stop talking about it. Do it on the weekend when you're off from work. But if you realize it's not for you and it's stressful, it's okay. Go do what you really. I would love to be a bartender in California one day, or a flight attendant. I might do that shit. You know what I'm saying? But we are not taught, I think, from our homes to do what we love to do. We're taught, our parents sometimes, not my parents, but taught to do what's going to sustain you financially. And I think that's why a lot of people are unhappy, because they battle with this thing. My parents didn't give a shit. They want me to be happy.
Right.
At least I didn't listen. I did what I wanted to do. But it's about happiness, you know? And sometimes it could be the fact that someone has $100 million, that's what makes them happy. But there's a lot of miserable ass people waiting for Friday every week, TGIF. That's the miserablest shit ever. Yeah. To be waiting for another day every week just to have 2 days off again. Why not live your life magically every day? And it is possible. And I don't want to hear, "Oh, I got kids super big, baby." Everything is possible. Mm-hmm. But if you don't believe it, you're right.
You're going to be sitting right at that desk.
You're always right. Everyone's right.
All right. So for our last segment, we have a thing called Shirley Shake Up. And your last text message is the title of your next book. How are you going to use that to change the world or shake up the world? Your final invoice. How you gonna use that to shake up the world, Chimere?
That's interesting. Your final invoice. Thanks, P. Final invoice. Ooh, your final invoice. So,
that's the title of the book.
So there's lots of books I would like to write, and right now, I don't know, that's so obvious. I was gonna say, well, you know, how to pay off debt. That's what I'm doing. That would be a dope book, you know, like your final invoice, you know, paying off your debt or whatever. But I'm gonna go be more creative, and your final invoice. Oh gosh. It's hard. I think it'd be dope to have that involved in, like, I want to coach people in life, and I could see that tied into something where they change their life from what they didn't like into what they are, you know, and in that time that you are about to change your life, I can see that being called like your final invoice for some reason, you know. That would be dope and interesting.
I like it.
So
That's cool.
that might be a thing.
Well, thank you for coming. How can the people reach you?
They can find me on social media. I have several handles. Natural Hair Lady, spelled properly, Natural Hair Lady. You can find me with my name, Chimere Faulk. So they'll see how to spell my proper name, but Chimere Faulk. And then Dr. Locs, that's my product line, DRLOCS.com. And all social media handles the same. So